Welcome to Rich Keys Trading Channel, where we unlock one candle at a time. Please pay attention to the disclaimer on your screen. And with that out of the way, let's get into the charts. All right, welcome back again. Today is the 30th of November 2025. It's about 10:20 a.m. New York time. And I just want to share my few thoughts on gold and silver to wrap up the weekend analysis. The other analysis on the dollar index, the indices, and Bitcoin are in separate videos. You are free to go watch those videos for your own analysis as well. All right, so gold and silver, this is what I see on gold and silver. Gold and silver, this lower high is still in place. However, this pattern is becoming something more like a cup and handle. Let me take this s- pattern off. Okay, so here is looking more like this is your cup, this is your handle, and we are kind of gradually moving away from the handle that came all the way here. All right, so with gold, this is my two thoughts on gold. Looking at it from the so let's start from the daily chart. It might be better to look at it from the daily chart. Okay, so this is your cup right here. You moved here, you consolidate, and we've come back into this same resistance here. Caution here is that if we do break above here, then potentially gold could be cringing further up. So here again is kind of a wait and see, wait for confirmation, but obviously this lower high is holding price. And so if this fails to break this level, I expect the continuation down to our intended target, which is around the 38.26. I still expect this target at some point probably to be touched, but it's a game of probabilities here. Now if you look on the monthly chart, since we have already closed the month, I'd like us to look at the monthly. So in the month, we did close with a green candle, and we surprisingly closed pretty much within the wake of last month week, suggesting that bulls would probably like to continue to push. This is why I'm saying that we need to watch this carefully, because the volumes are pretty good, considering the volume and the candle, that they might be able to push to the target. The next target on gold on my chart is somewhere around 4,851. So that's a possibility. We cannot ignore that. If you look at the weekly is also ending with a strong bullish candle. The volume confirms the candle. This is not a volume price anomaly. So there's a possibility, a very good possibility for a continuation to the upside on gold. Indicators wise, if you see, we already crossed here. And I think, based on what I see on RSI, okay, so again, it's very possible that gold would go test the weekly highs and potentially form a divergence similar to what we had here in 2025, February, thereabout, where we came down, we went up, and then we formed a divergence before we did our major correction. So I do envisage that gold could potentially do the same move, considering that the week has ended with such a strong bullish candle. I would expect gold to probably go test these highs, potentially go hit this fib extension of 0.618, which is about what, 4,475. Create that divergence that we are looking for on the divergence, I mean, on the RSI before they move down. At the same time, like I said, this resistance is in place. The volume, if you go down to 4 hours, like I said, on 4 hours, I don't see the price volume anomaly here. This volume here, is pretty decent for this candle. So it's not a price volume analysis here. I think gold potentially could either store right here at this top here, potential, or it could break through this resistance here and make its way to do a double top right here, or a triple top right here, or we may slightly push above here, clear some liquidity above this level, form a divergence on our daily chart as I was showing you before coming down. So my conclusion on gold is caution, wait and see, and probably trade the short term or the short time frame, as on the longer time frame, it's still very strongly bullish. There's nothing suggesting that the bull run on gold is over. Briefly, I'd like to compare it to silver and conclude this analysis session on the commodities silver and gold. Okay, so silver is taking the lead over gold. And last week, when I did my analysis, I had already put this level here as invalidation level for the short position. If you took a short on silver, this was my invalidation level. Now, however, there are a few cautions also for those who are holding the long. This is pretty overstretched on the chart, as we should look at it from the monthly down to the 4 hours. If you look at the monthly chart, okay, silver is just in a parabolic move. And I do envisage that since we are so far out our KC band, we also so far out our Bollinger Band. Look at where price is, look at where your Bollinger Band is, look at where your KC channel is. This is really overstretched. However, it doesn't also mean that it cannot make the move to hit the wall, which is right around like 59,705, 59,705. That is a fib extension target 100% on my chart here. So possibility is when market opens, we may probably push slightly into this resistance before the move down can occur since it's so overstretched. Um, the other thing I also want to show on the weekly chart is that this weekly candle is very bullish. And if we're going to close like this, it also, just like the gold setup, potentially tells that we could further move up before the move down. Now, although one would say this volume is not too strong, to me, this volume is average. It's pretty decent for the candle that is printed from a weekly perspective. So it's not like a very low volume big candle. It's pretty sizable. So again, here is spelling caution. Target wise for the upside could be 59,705 before the move down. Now, if you go down to the daily chart, okay, now the daily chart, if you look here, I would be patient and say, okay, if I want to take a long, would I want to take a long right here for this move? I think the risk reward is too small for me. I wouldn't. But clearly, anyone who is trading technical analysis would say this is a break of resistance right here. I mean, this is your resistance here. This is your resistance here. We have a clear open and close above this resistance, suggesting that the move up is clear skies. Okay. However, I just will not personally take a long trade at this level. I would wait for a pullback. If a pullback comes somewhere into this box that I've drawn here, this invalidation here, to test this resistance here, and it holds. So when market opens in the next few hours or days, I'll be looking to see if price retraces into this level, and if it finds support here, then I probably will join it for a long trade. And at least if you want to trade it from this level to this level, I think it's pretty reasonable. Reward somewhere here. At least you're making almost close to what, a 10% reward for this move. So other than that, play caution on the commodities. It's not set in stone. There are a few things you want to wait for confirmation. In terms of indicators, we had cycle high on the daily on silver, and so that tells me potential we could be coming down. I would not take a long position at the cycle high. It's just not in my trade books. So here, cycle high on the daily on silver, I would wait. Before, even if I'll go long, I will. But this also suggests that the move up is potentially ending, and therefore the risk for the long is not there for me. I mean, the reward for the long is not there for me. RSI has not also given us confirmation for the downside yet, but then if you look at your RSI, I mean your MACD, I apologize for that. MACD, this whole trough here, it's not strong enough for me. But I'll wait, for a clear weakening in the momentum where the daily MACD histogram bar crosses below the zero line to take the short on silver if I want to. So for now, play caution on the commodities. I think the next few days will give you your confirmation signal for a trade bias. But obviously, the bulls are in charge currently as we speak. So that's about all that I'd like to share on the commodities. I'd like to thank you for patronizing my publications. Give it a boost if it helped you. Comment with your own ideas in the comment section. And let's be a community that, master the markets together. Cheers and have a great trading week, everybody. Thank you for listening and unlocking trade ideas and insights with us. One candle changed everything today. I hope you can already see how today's analysis can transform your trading decisions. If today's breakdown helped you spot opportunities or potential risks you would have otherwise missed, please consider subscribing and imagine what we will uncover together next time. Kindly give the video a like and share with an investor or a trader you care about. They would thank you when it saves them from a bad trade or a missed opportunity. Until next time, keep unlocking profits one candle at a time, and we'll meet again in the next video presentation. Cheers.